Hi, I'm Erin McGuire, owner of Pure Light Wellness. Today I wanted to give you a little video on the emotion of guilt, if we can even call it an emotion. But it literally creates a physical response in our body. And I just did a session with a client, and I've worked with many people in the past who suffer from guilt, especially mothers. There's this whole thing about mom guilt, and she happens to be a mother as well. And one thing that I wanted to talk about guilt is I was having a conversation with a friend, and she is a mom of two young children under the age of 4, and she was about to go away for the weekend with another friend of ours. And she's like, I feel so guilty because I'm going away for the weekend. I'm not going to be around my kids. And I said, well, do you want to go spend your time with our friend Jessica? And she said, yes. And I'm like, well, then it's almost like you're using guilt as a way to make yourself feel better for not being with your children. So therefore, it's just kind of this manipulative feeling. And I really feel that way about guilt, that it's not really real. It's almost something that we feel or say in order to make ourselves feel better. Like, if I feel guilty, then it's okay that I'm going to go make this choice. When really, you just need to make the choice. Like, a lot of times with guilt, it makes us feel like we're stuck in a certain area. Like, I have to go do this thing rather than I'm choosing to go do this thing, right? And there's a lot of women, I know in particular, have a hard time doing things for themselves. And we get to blame that on guilt. Well, I don't like to do these things because it makes me feel guilty. But again, guilt isn't even really an emotion. Guilt isn't even really a thing. It's just, it makes us feel very bad. And it's a reason that we get to feel bad about ourselves. And so it becomes this vicious cycle. And so when I was working with my client today, what I saw in her, and that I also realized happens for a lot of people, is that we actually need to, some of us, not everybody, but if you struggle with guilt, this is probably you, that there's a vibration going on in your subconscious mind that says, I need to or have to feel guilt in order to know who I am. And that guilt is such a low vibrational frequency. And so working with this client, she's going through a lot of physical pain right now and physical things going on in her body. And she's constantly saying, I feel bad because of my kids or this or that, or because I'm here and they're there. And so she's creating a lot of negative vibration in her body by just saying or thinking those things. Because again, if you watch any of my previous videos, what we think and what we say, we create our reality. So if you're constantly saying, I feel bad, if you're constantly feeling guilt, you're bringing in a lot of negative vibration into your life. And so my biggest piece of advice is to stop, which is hard, right? It's hard, especially when you have that belief in your subconscious that says, I need to or have to feel guilt to know who I am. Now, guilt is not who you are. Guilt is something that was programmed into you by your parents or by society, sometimes even by ourselves, but it's not who you are. So you really can override this belief. And here I'm going to give you a couple of ways to do this, okay? So the first thing is you want to repeat to yourself, I choose to no longer feel this way. You want to feel like, and you want to know that you have a choice in this matter. I choose to no longer feel this way, okay? And then the best mantra you can say is, I'm willing to release this resistance. I'm willing to change. And also, if you're somebody that's been dealing with this for a long time, what I do is I just go into nature, what I had her do. We went into nature, and I just had her say, show me how to release this guilt. Show me. Show me how to change, because I don't know how. Show me how to release this guilt. And then again, you're saying, I choose to no longer feel this way. I choose to release this resistance. I choose to release this guilt. I'm choosing to do that. And then she was having issues in the middle of the night. She would wake up and feel guilty because right now she's splitting her time, partly with her partner, and then her children, they're older and they want to stay at their home. And so she's feeling torn between these two things. She wants to be staying with her partner, and she feels her kids are just a couple houses down. She wants to be with her children. And they're working on merging their families together. And so in the middle of the night, she's feeling this guilt. And if you're feeling guilt in the middle of the night, or feeling it about your children, or waking up with it because you think you should be with your children, then I want you to say, I am either going to go be with them, or I'm going to choose to stay in this situation. I'm going to hang out with my friend because I deserve a weekend away from being a mom, or whatever the case may be. I'm choosing this for myself. And I choose to no longer feel this guilt. Okay, so you're reaffirming, you're choosing to no longer feel this, and you're choosing whatever experience you're in because you want to be there. So let me know how that goes for you, but just remember, guilt is almost, it's almost created in our mind. It's almost not even a real vibration. But it brings us to such a low negative vibration that if you're experiencing a lot of guilt, you're probably going to have different physical issues going on, or you're going to have some negative experiences in your life because that's the vibration you're sending out. It's this very low vibrational frequency. So do whatever you can in your power. Do these exercises I just told you about in order to raise your vibrational frequency and get out of the feeling of guilt. It's going to take you saying that a lot, okay? I choose to no longer feel this way. I choose to no longer experience guilt in my life. And then every time you do, you have to make that choice. Now, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to stay here. Let me know how that goes. I'd love to hear from you. I forgot to say, today I'm coming at you from a little cabin in Potosi, Wisconsin. It's my little special getaway that I go to re-nourish myself. I recommend for you guys, find something that nourishes you and go and do that today, because guilt is a low vibrational frequency, and if you're experiencing it, we've got to find a way to give back to ourselves in order to stop that vibration and to really fill up our own cup again. So let me know how that goes. Leave a comment below. Ask any questions that you'd like. And I'll leave more information for my 40 Days of Radical Self-Love program, and also how to get in contact with me if you ever want to do any sessions. I do them over the phone or in person from anywhere in the world that you are. Over the phone, obviously. So thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you again soon.